So let's jump into it. I'm not going to do a big breakdown of what Slotie is. I'm just going to get straight into the statistics. But a quick overview, it sold out in 5 minutes and the volume that it's had post drop is crazy. It was featured in a lot of sort of press articles, which is crazy. And essentially the idea is like you have an NFT, which is a slot machine, which is a Slotie, and then that gives you access to the profits of casinos, and they have 150 casinos. So the idea was that the idea of passive income and generating some income. And the reason that everyone was so hyped on is the team was huge and crazy, and the owner here, Taz, you can see him on LinkedIn here. And if you actually have a look at Elia Software, they're actually in the iGaming space. Hence, the team was strong. It had some real potential and possibilities for the kind of idea of passive income. So that's why that kind of built up and it has sold out very fast. So before we get into the price charts, let's have a look at Opensea. We can see the 9,300 items, 4,500 owners, and a price floor of 0.53. Anyway, let's get down and have a look at the statistics. When you're on Nansen, we can see that in the 24-hour market overview, Slotie is coming in at number 5 when it comes to the amount of volume in the last 24 hours. It is absolutely pumped, and there are people doing a lot of trading on this, and it's reflecting quite well in the price after mint. Now, real quick, the software that I am using is Nansen, and there's a link to a tutorial up there. It is quite long, it's quite detailed. Nansen is a paid software, but it's very good when it comes down to the details of sort of projects and things like that. So you can check that out after you watch this video, of course. So we can see here that it was deployed 38 hours ago, so it hasn't even been 2 days yet. And then we've got the NFTs in circulation. So looking at the volume, now the volume are these green bars, huge, crazy amounts of volume straight off the bat. It then dipped down. Now this is over a sort of essentially a 48-hour period. This period in the middle here is the sort of midnight to like 4 a.m. in the US time. So that's where that dip is. And then when the US woke up, it's rising back up. Currently right now, it is a sort of around sort of 10 p.m. in New York, and I think around sort of 5 or 6 p.m. in LA. So I can see these volumes kind of kicking up a little bit when people kind of get back home from work or kind of get on the computer and kind of run it up a little bit. But that's where we can kind of see and take away from the volume. When we have a look at the average price, what is great to see here is it kind of just runs up and then kind of essentially sits flat and then does another run up. What I'm taking away from here is that where the volume comes in, the price runs up, the volume drops off, but the price stays steady. So people are seeing some sort of long-term progress and long-term potential when it comes down to the project, because usually when volume dies off, the price will die off. Now, this is the average price, but this shows strength that if there's another wave of volume that comes in, this price should head up higher. When we have a look at the individual transactions, we can see here with the line, which is essentially the average, it is just straight up, which is good to see. You can see it's come in at around that sort of 0.22 mark, and then it's just gone up to around that 0.4 mark. So on the average price, people that have got in have almost essentially doubled their money when it comes down to the secondary market. When we have a look at the breakdown and have a look at some of the top holders of this project, we can see here that the top holder has 105 NFTs. Now, the reason that I find this crazy is that the next closest buyer has 25 and then 24. If we actually have a look at the top balances wallet, we can actually see they are holding a lot of Slotie, but On-Chain Monkeys, World of Women, they've got a lot of other things in there. So it's not a marketing wallet and looks like someone that is just super bullish on this project and essentially a whale when it comes down to this project. And then when it comes down to the top 20, it kind of tapers off to around 12. So it's almost a factor of 10, which shows you that some of the top holders really see some crazy potential when it comes down to this project. When we have a look at the top balances over time, nothing we can take over here because it hasn't even been out for 2 days yet. Same with these charts here. Now, it is very soon, but having a look at the holders of the project, it is looking quite good. So we can see here the unique address, it just keeps going up. Even though we've had these two little data points here, it's gone up by around 50. So what I think will happen is that as the price runs up, some of the people that are holding sort of 5 to 10 may offload some and they will go to some other holders, and there may be a more of a distribution when it comes down to the project. But saying that, at around 4,400 of the 9,600. That's not a bad distribution. It is sitting quite well. I like it around that 50 to 70% mark, but saying that this is quite good. If it was around that 25% mark, then I'd be a little bit worried, but it looks like there's an even distribution. When it comes down to the percentage only holding one NFT, we've got that 54%, which is nice. That's healthy. That's good. That's kind of where I'd like to kind of see an NFT. When it comes down to the profit leaderboard, and this is where you can kind of start to see the runway of what this project could be later on, we can see the top profit taker, 4.23 ETH, and then the top sort of 15 round out at around 2.5 ETH. Now, this is nuts because of the volume that they're doing, what they've sold out, these profits should be around the 20 to 30 ETH mark. So I see that there are a lot of people that believe in this project and they don't want a paper hand. They just don't want to take profits. They want to see where this project's going to go. So seeing a profit leaderboard like this makes me feel confident in the continuation of the momentum of the project, which is currently in that upwards trajectory. So when it comes down to the top 5 buying addresses and where their entry points are, this gives us an idea of where they believe a price floor should sit. We can see a big purchase between 0.2 and 0.3, and then it seems like the average is almost around that 0.4 mark. And there is an outlier there. The way that I see this is that they see this project being a half ETH floor longer term. Otherwise, they wouldn't be buying in at that 0.4 mark. Saying that, what this does means is it means that if the price is to rise to 0.8 or 1 ETH, they've essentially made 2x their money, which means that they could then start layering out of their positions. So keeping that in mind, it means that if you can get a price for under that 0.4 mark, you're going to be getting in at a discount on where the top holders are getting them, which may mean that you're in a better position to then ride it back up. But it does mean that if you are going to be getting one at around that 0.8 mark, you're buying in at twice the cost of where they're seeing the price floor. Now, this is just speculation. This is just the way that I analyze these charts and these data points. When we have a look at the recent transactions, we can see that over a 1 hour period, there will be around sort of 15 sales. So with 15 sales happening approximately every hour, if we actually head to Opensea and go to the buy now, there's only 380 results. So we can see that over a sort of a 1 hour period, if there are no additional listings, the price can get to a 0.6, I'd say within around 2 hours. So it does mean that when the US kind of starts to wake up, this could be at a 0.6 or a 0.65, but this is contingent on people not selling their NFTs when they're kind of getting this run up. So overall, what do I think of Slotie and what do I think the future holds for this project? I think that the team is crazy solid, and I also think that the potential to actually earn some of that residual income when it comes down to casinos and gambling is real, because the team has kind of shown that they have the capacity to do that. What I think will happen is for the next few days, so within the next week, when people actually see how the team actually execute on the project and actually how the royalties will come through, that's why I think the price floor will stay quite high, because people want to see what they're actually going to get. At that point, if the residual income and some more income comes in than people are expecting, the price will absolutely blow up. If it is on par with what they've got, I think it will sit quite even. Or the expectations of royalties don't live up to what people were expecting and thinking, then the price will drop. If you are in on this project, it looks like it's well worth holding on to for the short term at least, to kind of see where it's going. When you have a look at the price charts, it's just in an uptrend, and saying that it's only been a couple of days, but at least it gives you an idea and some confidence that there is some momentum. It doesn't look like it's sort of plateaued and peaked. It's looking like it is continue to move. So if you are in the project, hold on to the project. It's looking like it can continue to kind of build on some of this momentum. If you are looking to enter into this project, what I would suggest doing is you can see occasional dips in there, usually when the US is kind of asleep. So what I would do is I would time your purchases to when the action is lower, and some of the other countries and other people around the world then list their sort of Sloties, and that should bring the price down, because we can see here over the last day or so, this dip has been when the US has been asleep. So that is my kind of suggestion. Now, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. So take all of this information, analyze it yourself, do your own research. I'm not saying what you should buy or sell or do. I'm just giving my opinion, looking at the charts and analyzing it the way that I like to analyze it. So overall, I hope you found value in this video. If you did, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, while you're down there, if you hit up that like button as well, it does help out with the algorithm. It helps kind of like push this video out there further. As always, it's been a pleasure having you with me. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.